Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Shiny Stuff Friday, series where we cover legacy, inflation hedges, gold, and silver. In this video, we are going to be focusing on where I personally believe the floor is for gold and silver spot prices, and or my downside price targets for gold and silver, where I'll personally be comfortable and honestly pretty stoked to once again start loading up on some gold and silver stocks. All right. So let's kick off the video by quickly reading over this little graphic I made for you guys, talking about why I personally feel it's important to cover gold and silver, and then we'll go over the other topics we'll be discussing prior to diving in and closing out the video. All right, so why gold and silver? Where is the floor for gold and silver? As many of you know, our primary focuses here on the channel are revolutionary sectors: crypto, EVs, green energy, biotechs, etc. But I feel that it's important to touch on precious metals every once in a while, considering we live in a world where fiat currencies are steadily becoming more and more devalued, which is another reason we're going to be touching on DXY, or the US dollar index, later in this video. But when dollars become worth less, investors will want exposure to inflation hedge or hard money assets, the OGs of which are, of course, gold and silver. All right, guys, so many of you know Bitcoin is my go-to legacy inflation hedge. Bitcoin is my go-to inflation hedge play. I believe it's the best inflation hedge asset on the planet, but I do have a soft spot in my heart for gold and silver. I think gold and silver have stood the test of time. I started my trading career out by trading gold and silver related stocks. Still hold some gold and silver stocks that I've held for a very long time. And once again, I do feel like they're very important to cover, even in a world that's evolving technologically so much. You want that legacy, at least in my opinion, you want a foot in that legacy realm to some extent. All right. So that's why I think it's important to talk about gold and silver, talk about price targets, and once again, talk about downside price targets, because sometimes they're more exciting in the sense that they give you the opportunity to load up at a discount. All right, so the names we are going to be covering today, once again, of course, are gold and silver spot prices. We are not actually going to kick it off with gold and silver on the charts, though. We're going to kick it off with DXY, because as many of you know, if the dollar goes up, gold and silver go down. Most of the time, they are usually inversely correlated assets, so they do the opposite of each other. And if DXY is going up, gold and silver are going down. All right, so we will kick it off with DXY. I'll give you guys my take on DXY, or once again, the US dollar index. That is the US dollar pitted against another basket of global fiat currencies. So we'll take a look at DXY. We will then move into gold. I'll talk to you guys about a few scenarios to both the upside and downside I see playing out for gold. We'll do the same for silver, and that is going to be all the charts we're looking at today. And then after that, we'll close out the video by doing a sponsored review of our old friends at Great Thunder Gold Corp. Very cool gold related, gold focused company and stock with the ticker symbol OTC US markets, GTGFF. So you guys may recognize this play. We've covered them before, you guys. We appreciate those who support the Wave Sam, especially who come back. And I do believe this is a cool company, and that's why I'm choosing to cover it today for you guys. So we will kick it off with this review by quickly looking over their page, getting a quick about the company, reminding you what this company does, and then we will take a look at their investor presentation, read over a few highlights on here that I feel like are important to relay for you guys. And as always, with the sponsored reviews, although we appreciate them, it means a lot that they come back and support the Waves family, make all this happen. So please, actually, you guys, I will ask you to give a video a like, show them some love, because then they make all the gears turn for this. They make the back end that much more tolerable for me, and that much more again beneficial for all of us. But we will take a look at this. We will take a look at the investor presentation. As always, you guys, do your own research, though. I will link everything you need to do to research this company more down below, their website, their ticker symbols, etc. But for the sponsored reviews, please go on to do your own research and ultimately go on to make your own decisions. All right, so let's kick it off with DXY on the charts. Talk about the good old DXY, or US dollar index, once again. So DXY, as of right now, is in kind of a weird place. Again, following this breakout, we are going to stick solely to the daily candles here, you guys, for the DXY, gold, and silver, just because these are definitely more macro plays. I feel it's important to zoom out more and more. Okay, so DXY, I will be honest, because gold and silver, just a heads up right off the bat, gold and silver look pretty bad right now on the charts. From a technical perspective, I am bearish on gold and silver at this moment in time. That'll make more sense as we dive in. But because gold and silver look look bearish, that furthers kind of my bullish nature on Dixie once again, because they are inversely correlated assets. Okay, so following Dixie's breakout of this line of resistance right here, way back in April, it started to use that previous resistance as new support. Very strong line right here. Since then, we kind of bottomed out. You can see here in May, Dixie really did bottom out and went through this capitulation phase, started to create an ascending channel. But then it broke out of this ascending channel in mid-June, went absolutely parabolic. You can see here Dixie. This is a very, very significant move. So Dixie just absolutely ripped in mid-June. And since then, we have been in for a while this like top level ascending channel. So first level ascending channel broke out, creating this kind of ascending channel, kind of ascending wedge pattern. And we did break below that for the first time. This is a very, very strong ascending channel, very organic ascending channel. Did break below that just as we closed out the month of July. Now you can see that we're currently using the previous line of resistance on this lower tier ascending channel as new support. We've kind of based out there. So it only makes sense to me that Dixie sees more upside price action. Again, you guys, TA 101, it's likely to me that Dixie ultimately comes up to test the top side. The top tier, the top level ascending channel. Sorry, you guys, there's a lot of tiers. There's a lot of levels of lines here, of trend lines. But I do think we will ultimately come up to test the previous support on the top tier ascending channel as a new line of resistance. That would take us up to about 92, 93 again over the coming week or so. And you guys, keep in mind, the economy is in a weird place right now. As we get into September, the markets seem toppy. Money just seems like I have no like actual grounds or rationale for this directly that I can reference right now, like right off the top of my head. But there are just a slew of macroeconomic factors that lead me to believe that money is specifically, when I say money, you guys, you know I'm referencing the US dollar. Money seems to be becoming more scarce, and that is once again being reflected in the charts on the tape as we're looking at it right here. So to sum this up, you guys, I do foresee more upside in the dollar head. The same goes for all of this, you guys. Any chart we ever look at, go into the charts for yourself. Dixie is not only important in reference to gold and silver, but everything that trades against the US dollar, which is pretty much every asset on the planet, the stock markets, the cryptocurrency markets, it all comes back to Dixie in a sense. Okay, so if you are a macro trader, if you're a trader at all, it's always important, in my opinion, to keep a close eye on Dixie and what the US dollar is doing. Okay, so short term, feeling pretty bullish on Dixie. Therefore, gold is not looking too good, and this will make sense to you guys right now. So gold was in a pretty nice ascending channel, following this just following it falling. That was kind of tough. Following it falling off an absolute cliff in early June. So gold went from 1900 all the way down to about 1750 in the span of a week or so. Crazy. Since then, we have been in somewhat of a little ascending channel, shorter term uptrend. And just yesterday, actually, you guys, just yesterday, gold did officially break below the line of support on this current uptrend, beginning over here in late June. Okay, so that's, trend line is a little bit off there, but you guys get the point. Touch point here, create multiple touch points right there, creating the line of support on this current uptrend. Gold at the time of recording, which is August 5th, did just break below this line of support yesterday. So it only makes sense that gold is definitely going to head lower. All right. Downside price target for gold, again, you guys, there's definitely going to be levels where gold will see resistance. But if the dollar continues to rip, if the economy is struggling and there is more demand for the US dollar, which I think is very likely, and again, the charts kind of reflect that fundamental sentiment as well, I think it's definitely likely that gold could come all the way down here to like the $1,500 region. The reason for that is because gold is still in a long-term descending channel from its high way back in August of last year. So almost a year ago was when gold reached its all-time high at just under $2,100. Since then, it has been in a pretty stark downtrend in this massive descending channel. And it honestly wouldn't surprise me, you guys, to see gold, once again, in the case that the dollar does continue to do well, money pours into Bitcoin, which to many, especially the next generation, is a far more appealing inflation hedge asset. Wouldn't surprise me to see gold come down to test the bottom side of this descending channel. And this area over here that acted as a very significant ceiling for gold in the past during like summer, late summer, fall of 2019, and that would take us down to about $1,500. Of course, you guys, these price targets on the downside are always dependent on, in the case of testing of support on this descending channel is very dependent on when and where, of course, this line of support, is tested. So again, you guys, that speaks to if you guys are interested in gold, if you guys want to play gold, if you guys want to know when gold might bottom and when might be a good time to go into gold stocks. Always draw these trend lines for yourself and keep an eye on gold and silver. Let's close it out with silver and then get into the sponsored review of good old Great Thunder. Okay, so silver was looking really promising for a long time. You guys, many of you know, if you've been following the kind of precious metals journey, been talking about precious metals for a long time. Again, they do hold a solid place in my heart, although I'm personally not the most bullish on at this moment. But again, I do still feel like they're important to follow from a macro perspective, and I definitely have a macro base as a trader. All right, so I was excited to see silver in what could be called a symmetrical triangle or bullish pennant. Most of the time, symmetrical triangles or bullish pennants obviously resolve in a bullish way, usually to the upside. Symmetrical triangles usually mirror that of the overall trend. Silver was definitely in an uptrend. Silver's still looking good. You could actually silver is in the craziest sideways period following its low during the liquidity crisis. Obviously, everything kind of fell off a cliff, but silver reached a low of about $12 back in March of 2020, again, during that liquidity crisis. Since then, it has seen a crazy rally, and since its high also in early August of last year, almost exactly a year ago, we've pretty much been going sideways, a lot of volatility straight to the side, all right? But from a short-term perspective, although I was very excited for silver to break out of what I thought was a bullish pennant, we broke below that. On July 16th, silver officially broke the line of support on a very strong trend line. And since then, again, Tier 101 of you guys, it happens every time, especially with assets at the scale of gold and silver, using previous support as new resistance, you can see right here. So in my opinion, again, you guys, because the dollar looks pretty strong right now, I have to believe that silver will have a very hard time and struggle to get back in here. Now, it's entirely possible that it does. And if it does, then I think there's a lot of potential for upside. And if we do see upside, we'll, of course, cross those bridges when we get to it. I would love to see, honestly, gold and silver break back above these significant trend lines and flip bullish on them. But for now, for the short to medium term, I do have to be bearish just because the technicals are telling me that, all right? And again, the technicals for the dollar are telling me the opposite. So it would make sense to me, in all honesty, you guys, for silver, like the bottom for silver to be around here, around like 18 bucks, act as a very significant ceiling for silver, like September of 2019, over here January, February of 2020, over here in June of 2020 prior to breaking out. And once it broke beyond this like $18, $19 ceiling, that's when we went absolutely parabolic. So reversion to the mean, you guys, I say that all the time here on the channel, the revisiting of the initial high of said rally. And my bottom side price, or like my absolute floor for silver, where I'll 100% load up on some silver related stocks, would be about $18.50, conservatively 19 bucks. If we do see a $19 silver, I'll definitely be comfortable loading up on silver stocks. Let's talk about the bottom side price target for gold one more time prior to hopping into the sponsored review of good old Great Thunder Gold. So gold's price target, silver $18.50, 19 bucks. Gold is going to be $15.50 conservatively. It's like $15.30, but we'll call it $15.50, even $1600. I'd be comfortable considering establishing some gold positions. All right, so please let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you guys are still trading gold, again, there's so many other exciting areas in the market at this point in time, but that's just the nature of the game, you guys. That's just the nature of cycles. Keep an eye on the dollar, keep an eye on gold, silver, and there's a lot of, like, when these downside price targets are met, there are definitely stocks that I'm personally eyeballing. Many of you know what they are already, but again, we'll cross those bridges when we get to it. Let's hop in to the sponsored review of the good people over at Great Thunder Gold Corp. So about the company, we'll read through this and we'll just dive straight into the investor presentation. I'll read you guys a few pieces of that investor presentation that I believe are important for you to know. And as always, once again, you guys, I'll link all of the resources, just pretty much the links you need down below for you to go on to do your own due diligence, research on this company for yourself prior to deciding if it's a right investment for you at this point in time. All right. So about the company, Great Thunder Gold is a Canadian exploration company with an experienced leadership team focused on efficiency, asset quality, integrity, and environmental responsibility. Our goal is to build value for all of our stakeholders safely and responsibly. Always good. I liked everything I read in there. All right, so let's hop into this investor presentation. Again, you guys, if you want to check out the stock as well, the ticker symbol on the US OTC or over-the-counter markets, so that little D represents, is GTGFF. So you can go. We're not going to look at it on the charts today, but if you guys do want to check it out from a technical perspective, I'm sure all of you are competent enough to do so. Go check this out on TradingView or whatever app you use to gauge technicals. All right, so Great Thunder Gold investor presentation. Moving on, let's move down here. Good old disclaimer right there. There will also be a disclaimer down below, of course. Great Thunder Gold, led by a seasoned and successful management team, Great Thunder Gold is committed to asset quality, capital discipline, and responsible operations. We are patient developers, prudent operators, and partners in prosperity. Our goal is to build value for all stakeholders safely and responsibly. Currently developed in an undrilled 15,000 plus hectare I think it's hectare area in the prolific Detour Lake district surrounding the exciting Fenelon Gold Camp in Quebec. So Canada, you guys, a lot of the companies we cover that we cover in these good old Shiny Stuff Friday sponsored reviews are in Canada, and Canada's a spot. All the companies that I've looked at and kind of looked into in the Canadian region, I do like, and again, they are sponsors, so I do have a bias, obviously, but. Again, you guys go look at them. I do like companies in Canada, and I feel like it's definitely from an investor perspective, from kind of where I feel my money would be safely parked. I feel a lot better being in Canada on the North American continent than a lot of kind of other offshore gold related companies, precious metal related companies, because you can get kind of dicey as you go into the southern regions of the world. All right, so why invest in Great Thunder Gold? First mover positions. Projects acquired in safe mining jurisdictions. Its northbound Southern Star and their extensions are positioned along trend to Wallbridge Mining's Fenelon project in the Detour Gold District of Quebec, the Chubb property located in an active lithium exploration area. So this is big, you guys. They don't just explore for gold, they do lithium as well. And lithium, of course, you guys know we cover green energy a lot, EVs. Lithium is something that you definitely want in the manufacturing and in the processing of, again, EVs and green energy that obviously is going nowhere and only scaling up. That's why I'm very interested in the sector, okay? So lithium, they do explore for lithium, and that's obviously good on top of good old gold and silver. Partnerships with successful track records. Mr. Eric Sprott is a supportive shareholder with a 15+% ownership. Tight share structure, well-financed. Only 33.2 million shares are outstanding, fully diluted, well-financed with long-term shareholders. Again, all of that good stuff. You do with that information what you will. Large diversified portfolio of projects, currently developing 5 projects with a majority focus in Quebec, Canada. Gold projects predominantly are our interest, yet we are strategic. The team, I'll just read over Blair Naughty. Mr. Naughty, the president, CEO, and director. Mr. Naughty has over 30 years of experience as a securities broker, a capital market professional, as a venture capitalist, founder of several companies, and has gained experience in all facets of the private and public markets. He started his career in increasing roles within a mid-sized Canadian investment brokerage firm named Midland Malwin before it was acquired by Merrill Lynch. He then spent over 5 years at Sprott Securities, followed by a position as market maker and trader at Yorkton Securities, an independent mining-focused brokerage house in Toronto. So again, you guys, from an operational perspective, from a financial perspective, this guy seems competent in both the realms of finance and traditional finance and mining. So again, you guys, always go looking at the team. This doesn't only go for these sponsored reviews, definitely, especially for the sponsored reviews, if I'm being honest. But in any stock that you're analyzing, that you're ever looking at, always look at the team, because the ultimate performance and long-term outcomes of the company will be ultimately very dependent on the team and the competency of the team. Okay, so again, if you guys are considering investing in this company, definitely read through all of this and do due diligence, you guys. All right. Again, good old ticker symbols right here: OTC, GTGFF, CSE, GTG. You can check out all the fully diluted, again, 37, 38 fully diluted shares outstanding. Market cap of 18.88 million. Current share price 80 cents. And again, that might have changed a little bit by now. So just, you guys know how to look up share price and market cap, all that good stuff. But small market cap companies, you guys, again, if they do succeed at what they're doing, there's a lot of potential to make your capital work make your capital pay out dividends in big ways with smaller market caps, because just from a pure numbers perspective, it takes less capital inflow to the stock to appreciate the individual share price. All right, so remember that. Northbound, not going to read through all of this. This is a lot of good stuff, but it's just a lot of specifics that I don't think many of you will understand. If you are interested, again, Go read it for yourself if you are interested in that, though. Moving on, again, all their specific properties, all good stuff, I imagine. Just not, I feel like I would just be, I would just be reading a lot and kind of taking time that is unnecessary to take. Chubb Lithium property, again, lithium. You guys know why lithium is important. EVs, green energy. The actual industrial applications of lithium are very, very necessary right now, and lithium moving forward will be more and more in demand, at least in my opinion. I feel like that's objectively true. Great Thunder's next steps, drilling in Fenelon Gold Camp, airborne geophysics at Chubb Lithium project. Again, big, a lot of focus on lithium, and that's it, you guys. Okay, so gold, it's not only gold, it's not only precious metals, it is lithium, and that's a big reason that I think this is a cool company, aside from a lot of the other exploration related companies. The fact that they are focusing on lithium, which once again, from an industrial perspective, from an actual use case perspective, is going to be a very, very highly demanded element, I guess you could say, moving forward. Element, metal, whatever, just resource moving forward. That's what, in my personal opinion, makes this an appealing company when compared to many of the other, once again, exploration companies. All right. So I will link greatthundergold.com down below, link their ticker symbol down below, link the disclaimer down below as well. Again, you guys, we appreciate those, especially the return sponsors. Make the waves, make the waves, fam. Make waves, make the waves, keep the waves coming. You guys know what I'm trying to say there. I'm stumbling over that a little bit, but again, I appreciate it if you guys give this video a like. It means a lot. Show the sponsors some love. Let me know if you check them out down below. Let me know if you remember the first review here. Let me know again what your favorite gold and silver stock is. If you're still invested in gold and silver, again, the Waves fam, we've covered gold and silver for a really long time. Again, at this point in time, they're not looking too hot. There's way more appealing sectors in the market, in all honesty, but again, I don't think the game's over by any means for gold and silver. And again, over time, if these downside price targets are met, then I think that will present a very, very appealing and attractive opportunity to load up on some of my favorite gold and silver mining stocks. All right, so we'll call it there, you guys. I'll talk to you downstairs in the comments. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.